Yeehaw! Welcome to the Daily Dose. My name is Brian McIntosh. I was doing something kind of fun this morning. I was at my daughter's school. We were having Gold Rush days. The parents all dressed up like the Old West went down there and we handed out popcorn and root beer to the kids, and they learned all about the California Gold Rush days, and it was a lot of fun. Took a picture in the jail, right? My wife took a picture of me in the jail, and we had a good time with the kids this morning over at the school. But it reminded me of something as I was sitting there. I'm from Texas originally, spent the first 23 years of my life in the state of Texas, and one of the things that really kind of surprised me as I began to move around the country and moved to Florida and I moved to Virginia and moved out to California is Texas is one of the last places where, no kidding, you look somebody in the eye and you shake their hand and you say something to them and it means something. And people do business down in Texas all the time without contracts, without signatures, without lawyers. They just look one another in the eye and shake their hands, and it's a done deal. And and I'm sure that's on its way out. And if you go to the big cities like Dallas and Houston, I'm sure they do it just like everybody else does it. But there's still places in Texas where you can go, and no kidding, a handshake and eye contact is just as good as a signed contract in any other part of the world. And that's a rare and unique thing. And what that got me thinking about was in the old days, how, as I'm sitting there at Gold Rush days, everybody's dressed up like the Wild West, and I'm thinking about back then, man, a handshake and eye contact was all you needed. You gave someone your word, even a villain. I mean, even a murderer and a thief, and if he gave you his word, it was done. That was it. That was all you needed, was someone to say, I give you my word. Because your word was everything. Your word was your honor. Your word meant everything. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because in today's fast food, Persian bazaar society of, minute rice this and microwave popcorn that, and everything is instantaneous gratification, and everything's on the internet and email and Facebook and Twitter, and whoosh, 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 and we're just flooded all day long by just a stream of media, a constant bombardment of distractions and media and text messages and phone calls and Facebook alerts and Twitter alerts, and our brains are constantly... We are so distracted now, and yet in the marketing world, you'll see people just flooding Facebook and Twitter and all these with all their marketing stuff, and there's people that literally never leave their house. They just sit behind a computer all day long and do their marketing. And I want you to know that 10 years ago, the person who understood how to market on the internet had a dramatic advantage over everyone else because they were able to reach a much larger audience. But today, with all the white noise that is on the internet, all the white noise, the constant just flood of just, hey, join my business, right? All the stuff that's on Facebook and Twitter, it's an asteroid field, it's a minefield. With all that white noise going on, I want you to know something. The person that's willing to get belly to belly with someone, look them in the eye, shake their hand, give them their word, now has an advantage over everybody else. Because in the impersonal world of electronic communication and social media, the ability to look at someone sincerely, tell them the truth, communicate effectively, put integrity behind your words, give a firm handshake and eye contact and say, you got my word, that is rare indeed. And when you become rare, you become unlike everyone else. And you're able, once again, to stand out in the marketplace and to have an impact. So break out of the crowd, get out of the fray, stop being part of the white noise that is bombarding everyone's brain. Stand out, get belly to belly with people, look them in the eye, shake their hand, and communicate with the vocal cords and the mouth that God gave you. And I promise you, you're going to see some dramatic results in your business this year. So go out there today, fellers. Make it a great day.